Preciados amigos y amigas, qué alegría que estemos todos juntos aquí en la Iglesia de Todos los Santos. Welcome, friends. What a joy it is that we're here together at All Saints Church. Mi nombre es Mike Kinman. My name is Mike Kinman. Soy Rector. I'm the Rector of All Saints Church. Mi pronombre, él. My pronouns are he, him. It is fantastic to have you be a part of All Saints Church this morning. At our Sunday food table today, we gave out 55 lunches from Hope Kitchen and 80 masks. As always, a thank you to Erica Tamblin, and I think Bib was out there here today with her also, making sure that everyone gets what they need. When the pandemic started, we began to support some local organizations with which we have strong ties as our partners in love, because we wanted to ensure that their good work continued during these challenging times. A big consistent partner for us has been Learning Works Charter School. We've come together as a community to fill the pantry that serves students and families in need, as well as to provide lunch for staff and students who drop into the school. So we need your help to ensure that a team of faithful All Saints volunteers can continue to provide lunch at Learning Works 3 days a week through the end of the calendar year. The need has actually gotten greater because one of Homeboy's locations has temporarily shut down, and the Homeboy staff and some of the students are using Learning Works site. So we need to raise about $1,000 to get us through the rest of the school year. And it's super, super easy to do. Just go to the All Saints website, click on the red donate button. So go to allsaints-pas.org, click on the red donate button, and then click on one-time gift. And contribute any amount, and just make sure you put Learning Works under the special gift notes. And thank you so much to Elizabeth Lashley Haynes for the incredible work she is doing coordinating this ministry. And now on to this morning's forum. Every year, one of the highlights of the year is we welcome our sisters from Thistle Farms. Thistle Farms is a nonprofit social enterprise dedicated to helping women survivors recover and heal from prostitution, trafficking, and addiction. They do this by providing a safe place to live, a meaningful job, and a lifelong sisterhood of support. I've been blessed to know Thistle Farms founder Becca Stevens for more than 20 years, and there is no community that has shaped my faith and understanding of what church can be more than Thistle Farms. And so this morning we've got Ty Gibbs, Kristin Beckum, and Becca Stevens with us talking about love and healing in the time of COVID. Before we get into conversation, they're from Nashville and they've got some great musicians. And I think, are we starting off with Levi?
Start off with my son Levi Hummon, an up-and-coming, amazing country music singer-songwriter, just like his daddy. And Mike, I just want to say, all our hearts, we've been praying with you as you've been grieving, and we love All Saints, and we wish we were out there so much. We wish we were with you, but we're sending love, and we have a really fun forum planned for this morning. So without further ado, let's give us a warm Nashville welcome to Levi.
Woo!
Yeah, flights are a lot cheaper on Zoom, so glad to be here. This song is called Make It Love. I actually wrote it with my dad and the late, great Andrew Dorff. And yeah, service in Nashville wouldn't be the same without music, so here we go. It's called Make It Love. Take the tears and the careless words. Take the fears and all the hurt. And let's just make it love. And let's just make it love. Oh, yeah. Take the rain that's been falling down, and take this pain that's been hanging around, and let's just make it love. Take each other's hands, and let's just make it love while we both still can. And let's just make it love. make it love. Oh, make it love. Ooh, yeah. Take the wrongs that we have made and change that song that wants to play. And let's just make it love. Take each other's hands and let's just make it love while we both still can. And let's just make it love. Make it love. Then we take the hearts that are bound to break and those burn out stars so far away. And let's just make it love. Take each other's hands and let's just make it love while we both still can. And let's just make it love. Hold each other right. And let's just make it love, baby, you and I. And let's just make it love. Make it love. Make it love.
Do you love it, Mike?
Yo.
Beautiful. We actually put a link in the chat to his website so people could listen to his music and buy some of it.
Oh, you're so sweet. So we have another beautiful singer-songwriter, and then we're going to kick this off. This is Michael Kelsh that has been a part of the community of Thistle Farms and the community of the chapel here at Vanderbilt for 144 years. We're so proud of him. No, like 20 years for real. And he's done every fundraiser we've ever done. And he wrote this song that I think really is about love in the time of COVID.
Right,
Thanks, Becca.
Welcome, Michael.
Thanks for putting me on right after Levi. That was really special. Love you, Levi.
Sometimes it's like my life's on fire. You can't deny you felt that too. I've been the voice of the town cry till I thought my lungs would split in two. Sometimes I feel so out of place. You can't deny you felt that too. But I can't look them in the face. There's only one thing I can do. When I'm feeling low, when there's nowhere I can go, when my soul is dry and thirsty,
water from the well. Water from the well I draw. Water from the well of mercy. Sometimes my faith is on a string. You can't deny you felt that too. And I can't believe in anything. I can seem to find some faith in you. When I'm feeling low, when there's nowhere I can go. When my soul is trying thirsty, I draw water from the well. Water from the well I draw. Water from the well of mercy. I draw. Water from the well I draw. Water from the well I draw. Water from the well of mercy. Thank you. Love you, Becca Stevens.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kristin. I am a 2015 graduate of the Thistle Farms residential program. I am honored to be Becca's executive assistant, and I'm glad to still be with you, even though we are not with you in person next year, right? We have a code that allows everybody who purchases online 15% off. That code is All Saints 15, ALLSAINTS 15. That code, it started on November 11th and it is good until December 15th. So if anybody wants to shop, please take advantage of the code. I love being here with Ty and Levi and Michael and Becca, especially being together during this kind of crazy time. One thing for me, love has been very important to me and very healing. And I was reflecting on some of the ways that love has healed during this time of COVID for me as a survivor. And one of the things that really came to mind was how my relationships with people have become a lot more intimate. I don't have, big events and get to see a lot of people at once. So it's more of an intimate, one-on-one, private chit chat or wherever we are and phone calls. And my relationships have gotten very, very powerful to me, because normally in the past, pre-COVID, you would see your friends and or whomever, and hey, how are you? Oh, everything's great. And it was kind of, for me, superficial in a way. And now nobody's really doing that great. So it's not as easy to pull off the, yeah, everything's fine. It's more like, hey, how are you really doing? And for me, I'm able to really say how I'm doing. And by being transparent and vulnerable, and other people being that way with me, it's just really strengthened the bond that I have with sisters and family members and just all these relationships in my life. And it's really brought us really close together, because we can say, this week has been really tough and this is why. And I can say, or they can say, how can I help you get through this? What can I do? How can I be a strong support system for you? And sometimes just somebody asking me, how I'm doing or if I need anything is really all I need sometimes. Because before it was more like a, hey, how are you? And now it's more, do you need anything from me? And it's just very powerful. And I'm glad I got the opportunity to reflect on that and just see how important the love and the relationships that I have with everybody are. And it's kind of turned me into grateful for this season. I'm very fortunate to have the people in my life that love and care for me and can lift me up when I need lifted up, and I can lift them up when they need to be lifted up. Because for someone in recovery during this time, it can be a pretty scary thing. But fortunately, I know that relationships and reaching out and being honest about how I'm feeling and keeping my weekly therapist appointments and talking to my sponsor all the time and taking care of myself, however that looks, is just really important to me right now. And being able to share time with everybody this morning is a gift, and I'm very grateful, and so much love to you guys. Miss you guys. I'll welcome Taya.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Just as Ty's coming up, I think one of the things I just want to highlight that we're going to keep talking about this morning, hopefully Mike is finding gratitude as a means of healing. That's one of the beautiful things, Kristin, that you remind us all that, in the midst of all the different hardships that we continue to go through as a community, farms, and individually, finding that gratitude is huge. Ty?
Hey.
I'm Ty. I'm also a 2015 graduate, and I work in the Body and Home department at Thistle Farms as the assistant director. And I found a whole lot of love during this pandemic. One, in my home. My husband has struggled with staying clean. And December 9th, he have 18 months clean.
Oh, wow. All right.
I believe that, I know this is crazy to say, but I believe that the pandemic helped. It brought us closer together. We're able to talk about a lot of different issues, work through them as a family with not a lot of outside people. And so it left me and him and my son alone in the house together, and not a lot of ripping and running. And so we don't allow anybody to come over, and it was just us left. So we still do our meetings on Zoom. I still communicate with my sponsor. We do as well. My son is doing school from home. This is his senior year, but this is his best year yet. And I'm really, really grateful. I think not being the class clown. So it's just been a lot of love in my house. A lot of hard things to talk about as far as being able to stay clean. and just getting brutally honest with each other. But it also helped us to grow. And at work, things are really, really great. We have 2 teams in manufacturing. We have the B team and the H team. And so it's like it's divided. So it gives us opportunity to spend a lot of time with certain individuals. And so outside of work, we still talk on the phone, communicate, and get on FaceTime. It's really built a bond with each other because there's not a lot of outside issues going on. And so we get to talk about each other's personal relationships up close and personal. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to be part of a place like Thistle Farms where we're still able to work. You know, I have friends that no longer have jobs, been laid off, and, you know, scared from week to week about unemployment checks. And I'm just so grateful, so grateful. I'm still able to put food on the table, to pay bills. Just have a lot of gratitude right now. It's gratitude. I have a lot of gratitude for the friendships that I'm building at work. Everything's, you know, now let me be honest, I do get a little lonely. I like going shopping, and I'm scared. So I do a lot of, not a lot, but some online shopping. And I love people. I like being around people. I like being out. I love the movies. So I've been doing a lot of movies at home. It's not the same, but it's all right. Getting it done. And just, I can say that love does heal in this crisis. And so we have stand up in the mornings at work. And I always say my favorite saying of the day is just be kind to each other. And I just think that the world will be a much better place if you just be kind.
Amen. Thank you, Ty.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, how you doing? It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see y'all. You know, today's the goats and the sheep, so
Yeah.
we put a poster for you. This is hanging out in the field. So that's not usually what we have back there, but it's a wrinkled sheet with a picture of goat and sheep. I want to make sure everybody sees that. Hi to everybody, and just hi. And what a beautiful way to start, Ty and Kristin. And they're happy if you have chats, maybe Susan, if you see chats that you or questions about anything that Ty or Kristin can answer, they're just sitting there ready to answer any questions.
Right, yeah, and you can put that in the chat or put it in the Q&A feature too.
Yes. So do you want me to go?
Yeah, you go ahead and kick us off and then we'll rock and roll.
Well, we were talking about love in the time of COVID, right?
Yeah. And
you and I have talked a couple times during COVID just about whether it's leadership teams in the Episcopal Church or just about things from Thistle Farms. And y'all know Mike Kinman is part of the Global Action Committee for Thistle Farms. So all the work we've done with All Saints and other places globally, Mike is now permanent. I think it's a permanent position, Mike.
That's what you told me.
Permanent part of the global leadership. And I think one of the ways that I have found really what Kristin and Ty are talking about is, you know, intimacy, small acts of kindness, deep gratitude. You know, that's not a one person kind of thing. It's also a global thing, and it's powerful. Yeah. And it's been everything from, you know, an email from a group in Honduras as they're getting ready to face the hurricane, and they're saying, will you just say a prayer? That's all I need is a prayer. Mm-hmm. This, you know, the beautiful women in Ecuador sent us a surprise of one of the things we've been trying to make for a long time called a bolsa bag, and they sent it up, and it was full of beauty and joy, and it just like the whole place at Thistle Farms went crazy when it's like this got through the border, came here. It's these small, wonderful joys that keep happening. And I think about how that's what love in the time of COVID looks like. It's not a program. It's not a national declaration. It's from all of us collectively in these intimate, grateful groups, doing these small acts that basically bring me to my knees. And I wanted to give just one example. So last week, and I haven't even talked to you, Mike, but my brother-in-law died suddenly. He was out with my sister's 18 months apart from me, so we're very, very close. And anyway, he died suddenly, and it was really horrible. We went down, he lives in Atlanta, and we drove down there and stayed down there for several days and got back, and I was really in this, this collective grief space you get in when it's both personal, professional, national, kind of builds. And so I went out to the woods Friday, and I wasn't paying very much attention. We have huge woods all through Tennessee. And we had a dog that we rescued like 8 years ago that's the best woods dog I know. I mean, she doesn't care about other dogs. She doesn't care about other people. She just plays and stays with me. And she got scared by something, or something happened, and she ran off, and I lost her. And I don't even, I'm not even particularly close to that dog in some ways. But I'm not really close to her. I've got 3 kids and do much more with the dogs. But it broke my heart. It was like, I don't know for y'all when that straw happens, but it felt like that. And I started, I finally let myself grieve all this in a weird way. Not that I hadn't cried for my brother-in-law, but I wasn't alone in the woods, which is such a freeing place to do that. And then it was people started reaching out, because I was just like, if anybody sees this dog anywhere in Middle Tennessee, contact me. And my kids came out to the woods, and their friends, and there was people wandering this vast woods, and this dog was so scared of everybody that if she saw you, she'd run a mile the other way. A stranger. So we were on a dog chase for about 20 hours, and it was unbelievable when we found her on the railroad track, walking down the railroad track on the other side of the highway from where the woods were. Wow. And there was, I can't even tell you how many people helped us like narrow where she was. There was, park rangers, everybody was texting. It was the sweetest thing. And it was healing. We had, in the midst of all the grief, we had this amazing celebration for this old stray dog that we have cared for. And it was love in the time of COVID for me. Not everything's right. We are still messed up, but I can find this amazing, small, little joy and peace. We had a feast to welcome home our prodigal dog last night. It was awesome. So I take great joy, and I hope you take great joy in very small things that teach us about love. And it's not getting better. It's not letting up. Whether you're looking at the economics or the politics of any of it, but it is what heals me. It's the finding, it for all of us, I believe it is. It's really saying we are going to be what Ty said about brutally honest, about what Kristin said, openly intimate. We are going to be so we can find love. So tell me what you're thinking.
Yeah, and this just gets to so much of what I've been thinking, and I can't wait to see the new Find Your Way, because I just every morning I read one of the old Find Your Way home book. I read one piece of that, and it's just part of how I start my day. And the one that has really stuck with me is the Remember You've Been in the Ditch. And Michael's song, I love that. Sometimes it's like my life's on fire. You can't deny you felt that tear, except that we spend most of the time trying to deny that we feel that tear. And we get so good at denying that we feel that tear. And a gift of COVID that I have found, and is, Kristin was talking about how you like say, are you okay? Well, no one's okay right now. And there's a gift in no one being okay, because it means we can actually start talking about not being okay. And, one of like the outpouring of support on my mother's death has been not just sympathy. It has been empathy, and it is because it's been people have been sharing their own stories of grief. And it allows us to meet in that place together, where maybe if we weren't in this place where we knew for a fact we were so vulnerable, maybe we wouldn't be allowing ourselves to meet in that place. I have heard so many stories over the last 6 weeks of people's walk with their parents while they died. And it has been such an honor to share those stories with people, and just to know, and grief touches grief. And so there's this reaching out that is happening, that I'm experiencing, and it happens in little things. I mean, I've got just a stack of cards, sitting on my desk that I need to return notes for, and I just, every single one of them has shared a little something that allows us to be human together. We had a wonderful young person, Phoebe Kellogg, preach a sermon for us a year or so ago, and she basically, her sermon was, "I'm not okay." And it was this amazing permission given to not be okay. And so, that's one of the things I'm finding right now, and I'm grateful for the vulnerability, because that takes such courage. And I'm grateful for just these little moments, of vulnerability, and also just being able to just give up yourself for someone else. And we see it here on campus with the folks who are living in and around the campus, and I see it, people saying, I'll make phone calls, I'll do this. I see it in, my wife in Robin, taking 2.5 weeks and going and living with my dad, and the bravery that he has. And it just is, what a wonderful, there's a stripping down that is happening with this pandemic. And I'm seeing us accept the invitation of that more and more. And I hope we can, I think we can. I think we can hold on to that. I think we can hold on to that, because, as much as I miss seeing people face to face and hugging on them and doing all those things, and as much as I want this to be done, I'm so tired of this. I am so grateful for the space it's inviting us into.
Which means you're okay with not being okay, which is where you have
Yeah.
that's the beautiful part of healing, I think, is like, I love the idea that is what okay is in a pandemic, is saying, if you're not grieving something, you're not paying attention.
Right. Yeah.
You need to pay attention. And I want to share one more story, and Ty was a part of it, which is why I want to share it. So Ty, that was up here, was are you the maid of honor? The maid of honor for Gwen. So I want to tell you this story, and Mike, you know this story, but I want to share it with everybody as an example of what I think love in the time of COVID looks like. And that is that, one of the other ways that this pandemic has manifested itself in a lot of hard ways, especially for those doing the work of justice and community and engagement work, came when the whole country was screaming, "I can't breathe."
Yeah.
And everybody was behind a mask, and it felt like you could feel it, to your core for the first time. And, Thistle Farms, it was one of the first ways we really experienced the pandemic. It was suffocating for people, some people, to put that mask back on who had been on the streets or in prison and been gagged. It was, it was traumatizing.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of fear about economics. We shut down 2 of our social enterprises, and there's always in communities, maybe some underlying things that hadn't been said in years. So some of those things that hadn't been said in years were said, and it came down to us looking at continuing to try to look at some of our own ways where we have not been a trauma-informed community how we've been a community that has harbored racist structures, or I think systems maybe that weren't always as supportive of survivors as that we needed to, and all of that. I keep looking over at Ty and Kristin. They're sitting right here, so it's hard. No, I'm just saying it's hard for me to not look at them when I'm talking. I'll try to look at the green dot. It's hard.
It is.
In a meeting, and one of the women that came to Thistle Farms, how long ago did women come to Thistle? About 15 years ago. We've known each other. And, when she tells her story, a lot of it has to do with early childhood trauma and being in the same room where her sister was abused. She has very, very hard story, and she's been angry on and off for her whole life. And she's an amazing survivor. She is one of the managers, one of the leaders of all of the manufacturing space. And we were in a meeting, and she looked over at me and she said, "I know you want me to be grateful, but I'm mad as hell." And, I believed her. I believed that she was mad. The problem for me was I was going to do her wedding right here at the chapel stand, right here, like 10 days later. And she was like threatening and accusing. She was mad about a lot of things over a long period of time. And I got freaked out. I'm like, I don't know if I should do the wedding. There's only gonna be 6 of us at the whole ceremony. This is gonna be very, very awkward. Anyway, I got here to the chapel to do the wedding, and Ty was in the back with her in the back room, and Gwen had ordered this dress that had probably a corset that came all the way down with about 25 lacy things on the back with a, 25-yard silk ribbon. And she wanted Ty to, cinch her up and do it, which was no easy task, by the way. You couldn't do it. You couldn't hold it, tie, hold it, pull, and get it to stay where it needed to be. So I got back there and we started pulling and doing all this stuff on the thing. And it ended up that Ty and I were on our knees, basically bracing ourselves against her back, just pulling, just pull the thing over, trying to get it tight. And then Ty had to reach under her dress to try to get it under the bustle. And we just started dying laughing. Everybody did. We were just laughing. And I felt like it was the most healing medicine I had known. For a minute, we could just be sisters back together laughing. And when Gwen's laughing with me, I know she still loves me, even if she's mad, and I love her. And we were going to get through it. And I think that was the other thing I really wanted to highlight for love in the time of COVID is for us as people who are leaders, as people who are grieving, as people who are community members, as people who care about justice, keep your humor. That is part of this time of healing. And, right after that, Ty and I have been like this since then. I mean, we're in it together, and I have reached under her wedding dress to pull a bustle, and so we're bonded. And we've been together. And there's been other bad things that have happened. Her husband got injured 2 weeks ago, bad, on a job site, and it was like I was one of the first people that got to talk to her and be with her through that. And it's like humor was our way back in. I'm just so happy we didn't lose each other in this.
Yeah, there's a safety to that though. So there's something like to laugh with someone like that, you have to feel a sense of safety with them, and that's what you have. It's one of the things I've always loved about Thistle Farms. In fact, we're doing an organizational transition here, and the basic unit of organization we're going to be using is the circle, and so much of that is from you all, and then from other places that we know that have done this. But part of that is there is something with looking at each other across a circle and creating a place of safety. And you talk about trauma histories and abuse histories, and most of us have something, and yet trying to trust that there can be a safe place where I can bring that, and where I can also laugh, where I can find healing, where I can find joy, where I don't have to hide. And that's that's what church, in whatever form you want to call it, that's what we can be. And
Yes.
and yeah, and it's like, can we be that circle? Can we be that place of safety where we are holding each other enough to know that your story is safe here, your laughter is safe here, that we can appreciate the absolute ridiculousness of something
Oh my
and
gosh.
and enjoy that together. You know, that we can celebrate a dog that was lost that is now found. And you know, my hope is, as we come back together physically, the huge gratitude is going to be, and I see this already just hearing people talk. The huge gratitude is, oh my gosh, I never knew how much it meant for me to be able to see you every week. And maybe we'll be able to capture that and not take it for granted as much anymore, of just the incredible gift it is just to be in each other's presence.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, you know, for everybody that's on this call, I just want to say that this is a particularly important week to think about that as we're getting ready to just welcome in the holiday seasons.
Yeah.
And so for me, love this year during COVID has some specific ramifications for the holiday. And I just wanted to go through that real quick, and then I'll be quiet to answer any questions.
No, go for it.
So, you know, I don't know if anybody follows me on Instagram, but I'm trying to make all these fun videos that are DIYs, do-it-yourself videos for the holidays. And part of the reason for that is a serious theological thing, which is people need to feel that human contact. And, you know, all of us, we can get what we need over the internet, but even anything homemade this year, I think 2020 is the homemade year. We know that when you touch something, you change the DNA of it. So even if it's just a homemade card, like you're saying, those cards mean more than anything this year. It feels different than before. My birthday this year, I just asked for a card from all my kids so they would focus on the card. And it was such a gift to open a card and not think it was just a prelude to a gift, but that the gift was the card. That felt so freeing and wonderful. So we could just enjoy a card. So I just want to say that I think this is the homemade year, in that if I touch something and then send it to you, then you feel that. And that's what's so critical for us. So I'm making all these DIY videos with pine cones, with dryer balls, with bath bombs, and I have a couple more. And the idea is just, if you can make something and send it to somebody, they're going to be in love with you forever. That's what I'm thinking. I'll send you something, Mike. I'm going to make you something. So the second thing is, for me, for these holidays, to get through with a loving heart, is to really give people slack this year. Let go of the ideal holidays. People are going through stuff, and they may not be living up to your expectations. And I'm telling you, give them some slack. You don't know what's happening to people when they walk through that door, or when they don't do some expectations of yours for the holidays. And I just think it's pointless to think, well, that's not what I expected, and I gave them something better and they didn't give me something. Third thing for me is intention this year is everything. So whether you're staying home or you're going to see somebody, let your intention be known so people feel that you are loving them. Don't assume that they know that. Speak what your intention is, what you're serving on a table, what you're sending through the mail, your FaceTime call, making sure you have a good visual in the back, whatever the year for intention. The fourth thing is what? Go small and stay home.
Mm-hmm.
This is not an appropriate year to really go big and give huge presents that are really expensive. Just given the fact of what's happening in the world. I mean, if you're ordering something from Thistle Farms and using All Saints 15 for the code, I had in the budget, we usually sell about $7,000 worth of stuff when we come to All Saints. And it was really funny because Sally Ann's, the director of the global team, said, I guess we can cross that off. And I'm like, no, we're still going to be online.
Yep.
It won't be anywhere near that, but it's this small, kind thing you do makes a big difference this year. And this is the year, I really do think, if you were ever going to give people small things with great love, this is the year to do it. And the last one is, obviously, if on Thanksgiving Day, on Christmas Day, love in the time of COVID means when you get up, the first thing you should do is give thanks for the bed you got out of.
Mm.
And if you can give thanks for the bed you got out of and the floor you walk on and whatever you fill your mug with that morning, and imagine the people who made it possible to put the liquid in that mug or craft it, whatever it was you're stepping on, you're going to be fine for the day. But begin it with deep and specific gratitude for everything, and we'll be okay.
Yeah, that reminds me of, there's a friend of mine, Susan Smith, who's a pastor in Ohio. And I use a prayer that she uses sometimes. And she says, "Dear God, thank you for the gift of 2 feet on the ground and breath in our lungs." And I'm especially that second part of that right now with what's happening with COVID and with George Floyd. The idea of the breath in my lungs being a gift. And so, yeah, the bed I got out of, and also that, if I am able, to put 2 feet on the ground, that I have 2 feet on the ground, and that no matter what, I got breath in my lungs. And a lot of people are struggling to have breath in their lungs right now. And so just that incredible gratitude. And that's, that was one of the things, as, when you sit at someone's bedside, as they're dying, you realize how precious every breath is. And I found myself listening to breath differently, and just being so deeply grateful for each breath. And part of what I'm trying to do now is I'll never be that grateful for my own breath, because I'll just take it for granted. But I'm trying to at least once a day just remember what that felt like, and remember that breath is such a gift, and be grateful for the fact that I have it, and that all these amazing people who I get to love in this life have this gift of breath. Other questions or thoughts? We've got, you can put in the Q&A feature. You can put it in the chat. Wendy says, "Getting through COVID pneumonia makes you very grateful for breath in your lungs." Amen. You bet. Absolutely.
I was called in the South, the COVID.
Yep.
I had the COVID in August and lost my sense of smell. I did not get pneumonia. I had that weight on my chest, but I never got pneumonia. But it took a couple months to breathe and have that luxury of smell, almost 2 months. And there's nothing like when you have a breath and you smell the candle and it transports you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you breathe and you're like, there's nothing there. Like,
yeah.
I cook by smell, whatever. I clean really by smell.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to shower. If you lose your sense of smell, it's like, who cares? I'm gonna walk. But I think the idea of breath and what we're doing with it and how we're filling our breath with goodness is a good thing. The nice thing that Thistle Farms is still able to do, because people have been so kind. One is that we all have jobs, which is a huge gift. We were considered essential workers.
Mm-hmm.
We start making hand sanitizer, but we still make, a lot of our stuff is antiviral, antibacterial, right. Soap, everything. We were truly essential workers, but really we were essential workers because we understand that the entity of healing is community. That's what made us essential.
Mm-hmm.
We've been able to plan for 2021, and we have all kinds of fun things that Mike and I are working on for the global team, including a project with Oaxaca, Mexico, and the amazing, brave artisan survivor leaders there that are creating ceramics that are to die for. They're so. We're going to have new teacups to put our Moringa Madres tea in, Mike.
Oh, that's great.
The Monkey Project in Peru, we just had 4 llamas to us. They were able to develop new product, and we're heading down there someday. But the women in the mountains are thriving because of a grant we were able to make, even though they were completely shut down for almost 3 months. They were able to keep going. And so we have new product coming in. We have one of my favorite things is that with the Diocese of Texas, God bless Andy Doyle.
Yep.
God bless him. We're launching really our shared trade, scaling and sustainability for all artisan survivors that lifts really the value of the producer by reducing the chains in the market and guaranteeing the producers get a percentage from the retail, not just fair trade. So the idea of shared trade is it's better. And so next year we get to do case studies and research and data collection showing how when we really support women artisan survivors, we're healing communities. And we're going to start collecting data to back all of that up, which I'm so excited about. Hey, before we go, I want to make sure that Ty and Kristin, if they have anything else they want to say, they can just say bye. But what were you going to say, Mike? You were going to say
No,
something.
I was going to say it's one of the things I love about what you're doing at Thistle Farms, and there's such a tendency in a time like this to be anxious and to be fearful, and certainly a lot of people are on the edge economically. And what I love about Thistle Farms is that what you're doing is saying this is a time of opportunity for us to reach out in love. There's a tendency when things are really, really uncertain to kind of circle the wagons and just think about yourself. And this is absolutely the time not to do that. This is the time to keep reaching out and saying, where can we meet each other in love, not just in our own front yard, but around the world. And I think the possibilities, again, I think because there's this sort of stripping down and being laid bare that's happening right now is, we have a chance to meet each other in love in amazing new ways. And so I'm incredibly hopeful for 2021, 2022, 2023 for the possibilities that we have. And we just need to lay the groundwork right now and just not be afraid to keep reaching out, keep giving.
I love it. And the thing is that I started this pandemic at the Asylum Center in Mexico, Asylum
Right.
Center.
Yeah. Tell that story.
And anyway, but I'm saying I started it there, and I never got confused about we have to continue to reach out and be supporting people because it's dangerous to ourselves and our world if we ever quit loving, even in the midst of COVID. Y'all want to say anything before we go? Say anything to Mike or anybody?
We got about 8 more minutes, so.
I just want to say I love y'all so much, and I'm really looking forward to our next trip to see you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Not wait.
Tell me your favorite product right now.
My favorite, I actually have it right here. As a matter of fact. Right now, it is our liquid hand soap.
Sweet. Oh, I got some of that in my bathroom. That's great.
I mean, you cannot go wrong with this. And one of the things, it's so funny. So in the bathroom at Thistle Farms, there's 2 sinks, several stalls. And it's so funny because I call it the washing hand contest. So when 2 strangers like me and somebody I don't know, we're at the sink, it's like we sit there to see how long we can actually wash our hands. So we'll just be in there, we'll be talking, and it's just so helpful and healing for this time of year. It's a true gift to everyone, and I'm grateful that we have the opportunity to sell great stuff.
Kristin, are you all still able to meet in the circle at Thistle Farms in the morning, or how are you all dealing with that?
We don't have the big community-wide circle inviting other people in. We do have internal circle with the select employees. We're on a staggered workday schedule. So the employees on Wednesday that are in office, we socially distance circle, but I know we'll get there soon, hopefully.
Yeah, and are you starting a new? And this is gonna be for you and for Ty. I know you had a graduation, and you're still just bringing people into the houses, and you've got a new place. It's a safe house.
Yes, we partnered with In Slavery, Tennessee, and we have the most beautiful sanctuary for women for emergency housing for the women, and they can stay about 30 days and get transitioned. And it is so incredible to offer that service to women. I feel like it's really a game changer.
We've also help open, I think it's been 4 new communities around the country this year, Mike, in the midst of.
Fantastic.
I mean, it's weird. I mean, not weird. It's a gift that for some folks, I think it was a wake-up call to say, really, sanctuary was the most important thing, and people weren't going to be stuck at home. They were going to be safe at home. And that they wanted to get people off the street. So projects that have been on hold for a while opened up. So now, the number right now, Mike, you're going to love this, 436 beds around the country now.
Fantastic.
From about 350. And I know what you went through and what everybody in St. Louis went through. But you should know the way that you mentored and helped other communities that have, I mean, gone on for years and years and not opened. This was the year they opened, so it was a great gift.
Oh, I'm so grateful. Yeah, Ty.
Thanks to Margie. I see she just placed an order. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, everyone go to thistlefarms.org, place your order. All Saints 15 is your discount code. Hey, Ty.
I want to say thanks for having us, and I just want to tell you about my favorite product.
Yes.
The hand sanitizer. It's really, really great, and it's made with immunity, essential oils, and it's also made with I'm not working manufacturing.
You make it.
It's made with distilled water. It's also made with glycerin and aloe vera. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's my favorite. It's really, really good, and it helps to prevent your hands from drying out. Like Kristin just said, we have to wash our hands so many times. So this is really great.
And you can spray your hands.
This is the 2-ounce hand sanitizer, which is really great for you to just throw in your purse, glove compartment, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Spray your mask with it. Show me.
Okay.
This is pretty.
So it's been, we wear this mask all day long, and so we do wear our mask.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, order some.
So that's something I got to tell you. I take, and you all sent me some wonderful oils. Yep, take a look at that. And I keep the oils with me, and I rub them on the inside of my mask. And so it's just like I'm always, like when I'm breathing in my mask, I have these wonderful healing oils from Thistle Farms that I'm breathing in. And it's great. So that's like something else that you can do when you order, like the oils come in this great roll on, or also with the spray, and you can rub them on the inside of your mask, and it'll last for a couple hours. That smell will stay there. And so absolutely do that. So got a couple more minutes. Do you have anything else, Ty?
Just want to say love heals. And,
Susan,
and
for your order.
we also have the immunity oil. It's an essential oil. The lavender essential oil. And Becca.
I bet it's gone.
No, it's not. And so we have these new tubes.
You have to hold it where he can see it.
Yeah, cut right for the camera.
So this is the new tube.
Oh yeah.
Nice, isn't it?
I like to
Those are-
pop it in the screen.
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay.
There you
Yeah.
go.
It's been sitting on the shelf at this.
All right, here we go. The yellow note.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Coconut fractionated oil.
It's good.
That's great. So one of the stories I love, because those oils are great. I carry them with me everywhere, and you never can't really do a lot of anointing of people now, but it just is something powerful about it. And there was one, I remember I took a trip to Israel and Palestine, and there was so much there that I was learning, and it was stressful. And I just kept the oil with me. And whenever I felt my anxiety go up, I would just sort of sniff it, and I would rub it on my wrists. And I got to tell you, order some essential oils, order them for yourself, order them for friends. They're just some of the most amazing things. Yeah, someone says, I wish we had smell-o-vision. Yeah, just go to the Thistle Farms website and just order a bunch of them. They will change your life.
Hey, this in closing, I just want to make sure, I think it's also hard for people out there to remember, and I know we only have 1 minute, but many of us look to All Saints Pasadena for inspiration, for liturgical ideas, for the discount code is All Saints 15, All Saints 15, 1-5.
All caps.
All caps.
Yes.
Also, there, Mike did it. But anyway, all that to say is that maybe you forget sometimes that there are people out here in the wild, cities all over the country that look to y'all. And everybody at All Saints, please know that for years and years, and especially right now, your work in justice and your ability to lead is so important to so many of us. We love you. Thank
Love you guys.
Bye.
Love you. Thank you, Kristin, Ty, Becca. So wonderful to have you here.